Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Cashball, Week 13. And I am sad to inform you that our big ball strategy did not work. Once again, this last weekend we went 1-5 on our goddamn picks. We're going to break it back down to basics this week. We're going to do some reverse picks. We're going to try some new strategies. We're going to get back on the fucking horse and we're going to right this ship. If you've been tallying up the records, or my record for this whole season, NFL, I am 19-17. College, I am 17-16-3. Still in the green. Let's get back to work. Let's get back to our blue collar roots. Fucking put in the man hours. Let's go over last week's picks. First one up, Maryland plus 14 at Indiana. This was sad. Not even Tualia could save the Terps. Indiana is just a fucking monster. Excuse me. Michael Penix got injured, so we'll see how that influences them down the road. But Maryland, get that coin out of my face. Purdue minus 11.5 versus Rutgers. Once again, one of my picks that were favored got the shit kicked out of them. Look at Shiano rallying the troops at Rutgers. I have to monitor them going forward. Last one of our Big Ten run. Northwestern minus 12.5 at Michigan State. I thought Northwestern was going to be a little bit better. I was a little bit late to the party, and I suffered because of it. Fuck Northwestern. Let's go on to NFL. Vikings versus Panthers. Vikings minus 3. This one was close. I had a feeling the Vikings would win at home, but good teams win, great teams cover. Vikings are not one of them. Titans plus 3 at Colts. This is my only one that hit. Just had a hunch the Titans are rolling right now. Colts are kind of falling apart. Titans hit. Cha-ching. Last one. Chargers Bills over 53. Didn't even come close. I thought Josh Allen had a little bit more firepower. I thought Herbert had more in the tank. No dice. Once again, fucking burn the tape. Let's turn the shit around. None other than... Let's do that by starting with none other than the uniform watch for next week. Red alert, red alert, red fucking alert. We have Army-Navy next week. The holy grail of uniform matchups. Anyone that has a pair of eyeballs knows that Army and Navy have been coming out with, and Air Force occasionally, have been coming out with some absolute heat when it comes to uniforms, more specifically their helmets. It seems like every year they top themselves. This year is no different. Army coming out with the frickin' military forest green with the frickin' tank in the background. Love what Army's doing. A nice contrast with the frickin' icy frigid water, white and blue combo for Navy. Navy just looks like they're swimming around in a bucket full of ice. Very intimidating. This game is a straight up brawl in the back of a bar that's filled with honor and respect. Let's get away from the women and children, and let's handle this the old school way. Roll up the sleeves, trade a couple knuckle sandwiches, then shake hands after, and go finish your night. Keep an eye out for this fucking uniform watch. It's going to be great. We're going to pump the brakes on the big ball strategy. We're going to shake it up. We're going to travel to a foreign land and really get a new perspective on what we need to do to turn this fucking losing streak around. So the strength and conditioning coach for this week is going to be Eiushi-Ryu. hailing from Japan in a remote village deep in the Himalayas. Coach Ryu trains more of your mind than anything. But if you want to get fucking shredded, just do a couple weeks in this guy's program with a couple of these milk jugs. You're going to be a whole new person. Grandmaster hailing from, like I said, somewhere up in the Himalayas. Let's give it up for our coach, Eiushi-Ryu.
As Pangai Noon developed from Chinese boxing, the open hand is the weapon of choice and is used to both strike and grab. A strong grip can be applied to vulnerable parts of an opponent's body to pinch and to tear the flesh. The crushing pressure of a well-conditioned hand can also be used to control an opponent after he has been subdued by a blow. More flexible than the fist, the tiger-like claws are the hallmark of this school of karate and one of its most feared weapons. To develop the paralyzing grip of Pangai Noon, nigirigame, literally gripping jars, are employed. Made of heavy ceramic, with the neck constructed to fit the trainee's hands, they can be progressively filled with sand or stones as the student improves to increase their weight and therefore their conditioning effect. In the Pangai Noon system, training with nigirigame takes place in the sanchin stance. As the body is tensioned, the jars are raised. The shoulders are pulled down into the correct position, causing the muscles in the sides to tighten, and the fingers strengthened by gripping the necks of the jars and resisting their weight. While in this position, the strength and resistance of the student is tested by striking repeatedly. The degree of tension must be sufficient for the muscles to stand powerful attacks without lasting effect. When the student can arrive at this physical mental state, he is capable of closing with his opponent to fight at a range where his techniques will be most effective.
Very inspirational from Coach Ryu. Now let's get on to next week's picks. Feeling good. Let's get the good juju going this week. Let's start off by going to one of our favorites that we've counted on all season. Boston College plus 6.5 at Virginia. Boston College might possibly be playing the last game of the season. This has been a hell of a run that we've witnessed and profited off of this year. It's sad to see him go. Hopefully they make a bowl game. But who knows with COVID. So we're taking BC as the finale, plus 6.5. It's at Virginia. Both of their starting safeties are out. One of their best players, Snowden, the outside linebacker, is also like 6'8", is out. I'm just liking BC. You're getting the points, plus 6.5. I like BC. Next up, we're going to go back to one of our favorites, the Dogs. Fresno State is getting 7.5 points at Nevada. Two high-scoring offenses. The Dogs are starting to roll. Last week, their game got canceled, so they're fresh. Feeling good. Nevada hasn't really been tested. Dogs plus 7.5. Last one up. We're doing a reversal pick. We've been zigging when Bama has been zagging. We're going to try to fix that this week. Alabama minus 28.5 at LSU in Death Valley. It's a big number. But if you match it up, LSU's QB situation is not good. They're not going to be able to do shit against Alabama's defense. And Alabama has enough chunk plays and electric players to really bust the score open. LSU lost a couple of guys to the draft. They just haven't recovered. Plus, Death Valley is going to be gutted because of COVID. Nicky Saban is coming back from COVID as well. Bama minus 28.5. Take that to the fucking bank. NFL. We're also trying to reverse things this week with the Jets plus 9 versus the Raiders. It's just a lot of points in the NFL. The Jets, I think, are winless, so they're going to be gunning for that pick or that last win. Somehow these teams that are in the lottery, I guess, for these top picks at the end of the season always seem to get a win here and there when they're not supposed to. I think Jets will get at least somewhat close at home. Next one up is Rams minus 3 versus the Cardinals. Kyler Murray, a.k.a. K1, has been balling, but he got injured kind of last week. Aaron Donald and crew are absolutely dominating offensive lines. Rams might have one of the best defenses in the NFL. Ramsey will shut down Nuke Hopkins. I'm taking the Rams minus 3. And the last pick is going to be the Pats in a pick'em versus the Chargers. Pats are going across the country. I don't like that. But Belichick is just going to do his thing. He's just going to straight up outcoach the Chargers in every aspect. And Herbert does not stand a chance against the genius. I'm going Pats in a pick'em. And that's it for this week. We're doing some reversals. We're zagging when everyone else is zigging. We're jumping back on the train. We're getting back in the saddle. On to next week. See you then.